Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning back into Fun of the Defensive. Now, listen, this is going to be my top 10 Spider Man action figures, so prepare yourself and buckle up. There are literally so many Spider Man figures that it's ridiculous, and it's too hard to even narrow it down to 10. So, this is just going to be, for the moment being, my top 10. My opinions are definitely not going to make some people happy, but it's my opinions. Some people are going to agree, some people won't. Let's just have fun doing it, people. Check it out. Honorable mentions. All right, so unfortunately, he wasn't going to be in the top 10 because there's just so many other great designs for Spider Man that go way before this. But I love this figure. There's nothing wrong with it. I like his small, little, weird, sloped off shoulders. No boot cuts, and that's still fine. I just like the design of this. Like, this was the really great translation of the Spider Man suit to the MCU. It was just fantastic. The vibrant blue really stands out, and I love the sculpted web pattern. We don't get that very much, but he's a great addition to my collection. Moving on. All right, now Cosmic Spider-Man is definitely an unknown character to me. I have never heard nor seen of him, but I just had to get that Vulture Build-A-Figure now, didn't I? And I'm very glad I did. This figure blows me away. Have a really, really awesome alternate head that I'm sure is the main reason anybody got this figure, but this body works. This is like better than Bucky Cat body for me personally. If we want to go back to the old style, Cyborg Spider Man. I can't tell you enough about this guy. It is literally a Toy Biz mirror image. The only thing he's missing is his oversized robotic arm that hung over his right arm. Man, that would have been such a next level accessory. They could have even made that a deluxe figure. That would have been awesome. They did it with that new bullshit looking one. So why the hell wouldn't you do it with the classic one? But it was a missed opportunity. Just like this figure missed the spot for top 10. MCU Iron Spider. Now, the figure itself is just the exact same as the previously shown MCU Spider Man. It just looks a little different, but it's the same articulation pattern. So I was like, all right, I'm buying the same figure. But then you mess around with the little robot legs and you realize that you can do so much more than just the sprawled out over the top of his head. You can make this man pull a weekend at Bernie's style. Forget all the classic comic poses of Iron Spider. This man has a built-in lawn chair in his back, so he's a great figure. Ben Riley. This was my first Marvel Legends figure I ever bought, and I keep it in my collection for that purpose. I hate the pizza Spidey body. I find it atrocious. Any figure that comes on this, even like with Mr. Fantastic with no butterfly joints, dog shit. He gets a pass solely for his awesome ass hands and his really amazing spider logo on his chest, and the fact that it's an ab crunch, so the logo doesn't get all busted up. Ugh, I digress. Moving on to the comic book cell shaded animated series, I guess. Spider Man. I mean, this figure's great. It's the Amazing Fantasy Spider Man. The only bad side of this, and the only reason it's not in my top 10, is, well, it's just his head. It's his head. His head is so, it's like a ball of Play Doh. It's like somebody took some silly putty and just pushed it together, and they were like, nah, that's a fucking head. Enough stalling. Let's get balling. Woo! Number 10. All right, so there's three things about this figure that make him number 10. One, he's unique. Two, he was free. And three, he's magnetic. This is the first and only Spider Man I have that's magnetic, so why would he not go on my list? But he's got way more articulation than he should. I mean, 90 degrees on both fronts, but he's got magnetic fists and hands, and that's what I like most about it. There's not even fingers, it's just a solid magnetic club. He just sits in my display case on the wall because it's metal and he's magnetic, and I love it. Plus, he has sculpted in web lines, and you don't really see that much. Like, his head didn't have to turn, but it does. But he don't stand for shit. Number 9. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. It's the Pizza Spotty body, and I said I hated it. This is the one exception to any figure with this body. But this design is so good. I mean, I think it's the tennis shoes that really sell me on this figure. Uh, I just like the whole aesthetic of it. His head's amazing. I took Rage's bracelets and put it on here, and this jacket is actually from the new Spider Punk, which with the Rage bracelets on. It just works a lot more than the blue jean jacket. But a dope ass design on a nice, unique figure. So he will remain in my collection and top 10 for now. Number 8. There's a lot to say about this figure. His overall design is so amazing. I wish they would just keep this rolling. I mean, the shoulder pads, it almost looks like a knight. His just complete armor head to toe. I love his mask. That is so sick. I love that. And the customization possibilities of this too as well are just limitless. You could upgrade so many different figures of this. You could make armored versions of already existing characters with a simple head and hand swap. Marvel Legends really went hard on this figure, and it's really got me thinking, I wonder if they're ever going to use this body for anything else in any other way, because it'd be so crazy that this is just a one-off figure for Marvel. Usually they typically want to reuse the same bodies as much as possible, but this bad boy sits at my number 8. Number 7, Peter B. Parker. One of the funnest figures, Spider-Man wise, that Marvel Legends has ever put out. This guy can just get into any obscure, wacky pose, and it just seems to work. It's just so extreme and exaggerated. I love it. The only thing I would change to make it more exaggerated and comic booky is to extend the blue sides of his suit all the way down to his sweatpants, so the red waistband is hidden underneath the sweatpants. It would make his torso look a lot longer how it really is. But overall, I love this pocket figure. Number 6. What top 10 Spider-Man list isn't complete without Renew Your Vows Spider-Man? He is the most articulated version of Spider-Man to come out as of yet to date. They even brought back the toe joints, of course. He's pinless. He's a gorgeous figure. I'm only sure Daredevil is just as gorgeous since it's the exact same body, but that's not about Daredevil. This is about Spider-Man. In terms of comic accurate paint, I think this is probably the most closest to what I feel Spider-Man is. I mean, and it's like the thickness of the web line pattern itself. It is just what it needs to be. It could have been too thin, too thick, too broad, but it's literally all just perfect. But why he sits so far on number 6 is this right here. What Hasbro needs to do is invert what they got. They need to make the ab crunch up top and then have the diaphragm pivot at the waistline. That's going to make you an overall more easily eye-pleasing Spider-Man because you're not breaking up the pattern on the suit. Now, when that comes around to a Spider-Man figure, the version will definitely move higher up on my list for sure. But I mean, this one's amazing in his articulation. Look at that shit. Mambo number 5. All right, now what better way to send off this body than with a final update to Black Suit Spider-Man? And they got rid of that nasty pizza Spidey body, which is phenomenal. But I mean, this again, prior to the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, this was the best articulated body. But it had one fatal flaw, and you're looking at it. I just can't get over why they continue to have the diaphragm up top. Just put the crunch up top. You don't break up anything of the web lines or whatever character you're doing. The suit doesn't get messed up. But what puts him at my top 5 is just his overall beautiful, simple design. Simple is key sometimes, and this just works. Todd McFarlane is the man for a reason. I wish he would have gotten a license for Marvel Legends because I really want to just peer into that universe and see what he did with it. But, man, his designs for characters are so spot on, and Marvel did a great job translating it to the action figure form. But I just love it. When you can take a figure with you somewhere and you got a pocket figure, this is what you're going for. Something you can just pick up and roll. No accessories, no nothing. Thanks, Todd. Number 4. The 2099 everybody expects to see all the time, but this one is my 2099. He is just so much fun. He's so easy to get into poses. He stands well. He's one of the, most articulated Spider-Mans that have come out. But you know what's really great and why he sits so high on my list? It doesn't break up the suit's design. It stays solid like it should because there's nothing to break or tear away from the inner ab. And I also want to go ahead and clarify that I don't really know this character from the comics at all. But he was just such an amazing design. I remember I found him in the clearance section of Walmart for $15. That's what it was. And I just really thought his design was amazing. And I was like, you know what? I usually don't buy things that I'm not familiar with, but I couldn't pass him up. I'm an enthusiast. I'm an action figure enthusiast. That's what I was told by my buddy. So I just loved what he did. And he could move so much better than Pizza Spidey. My God. It is amazing what a boot cut can do to a figure. But these are the blue lines that I was talking about. This little bit of light baby blue almost in there. It just draws your eye to the figure so much more, especially when you got him in a position to where like you can see his arm or foot or whatever. But man, it is just such an amazing figure. I highly recommend anybody go pick this up if you see it, especially on sale. He's a must have. Number 3. All right, Venomized Miles Morales. I don't think I have a literal enough time in my day to talk all about this figure. First and foremost, you put the figure on Kid Nova's body because that's one of the best action figure bodies of all time. And then you had to go and throw in one of the best symbiote heads of any Spider-Man across the entirety of Marvel Legends. Bravo to that. And then, secondly, you had to go and throw in these hands. Now, nobody talks about these hands enough because I don't think anybody likes this figure but me, it seems. But those hands are so customizable. I mean, you could just paint them black and you could throw them on Venom. You could throw them on Carnage. You could do anything you wanted with them. Those hands, the way they're sprawled out and so elongated, they got that look that I love. I mean, it's just so amazing. Plus, there's all this amazing vein sculpting that has the symbiote riding through his suit, almost like it's under the suit. Even without butterfly shoulders, this figure still hits any pose you could want to put it into. Easily the top 5 bucks of all time, just in standards of how you can make this thing look so amazing. That's why he's at number 3. Number 2, we're almost there. Homemade suit Spider-Man from the first Spider-Man movie. Now, let's get into this. On my Instagram, I posted this picture about 3 years ago that I had a concept design for this exact look that I had drawn almost 15 years ago. And when I saw the final reveal of this whole entire wave, and I saw that this figure was standing there on the display of whatever con it was, dude, my jaw hit the fudging floor. They literally hit everything that I did. And I immediately knew that I had to have this figure. So I hunted that thing down for a long time. Finally got him the day before I saw Homecoming. And you better believe I brought that bad boy and put him in the cup holder next to me in the theater. The only bad thing about this particular figure, though, is his knees. They're really loose, and so are his feet. But I'm not going to let that deter me. You can't stop me. I'm going to love this figure forever because Marvel stole my mind idea. They're damn dream walking on me. Oh well. Oh my god, it's number 1! Alright, everybody, I have no clue what the name of this Spider-Man figure is either, but I've had it for a long time, and it is the best Spider-Man action figure in my collection. He will not leave from the top 3 spaces, for sure. And do you want to know why he's number 1 over all these other amazingly updated bodies and all these figures that have come out? It's simple. Spider-Man, to me, is a 16-year-old boy. This is the best representation of what a 16-year-old boy could be, I guess. Like, his height level is perfect. His muscularity, perfect. He's not going to be jacked as shit if he has an unprecedented level of strength. But the main selling point for me, now, let me go ahead and preface this. Butterfly shoulders, sure, would have put this figure over the top. But it doesn't need it, just like I said about the previous Venomized Miles Morales. This figure is perfect in terms of articulation. It is the best because it doesn't break up anything of his front logo. The ab crunch is just good enough as it is. It's not bending. It's not torsoing. I don't need that twisting shit. This is what I'm talking about. His colors are 100% spot on. His logo's perfect on the front and back. His eyes are the perfect size. They're wide enough to where he has peripheral vision with a mask on. I'm going to be very interested to know what the updated version of this buck is going to be because that figure is going to be fire. But anyway, as I digress, if y'all had a good time, why don't you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, share it, comment it, do it all.